All right, guys, welcome to Man United Agenda. It's 8:30. You can set your watch by us. I'm joined by Mr. B, and we've got a new guest, a debut for Jay, all the way from Ireland, and we're discussing that second leg away to Sevilla. Oh, what a beautiful day. Spring is in the air. Yes, in London, it's been a smashing day. I've been out walking the doggies, getting some sun. Lovely out here. Mr. B, I'm not going to ask how the weather is for you because you only live, less than a mile from me. But did you get to enjoy it today? Did you get some time off work?
No, I was stuck in my van until a lot later than I wanted to be. But you know what? It's payday Friday, so I'll suck it up, man. I'll suck it up.
Good. And we've seen a change in season, which is good, finally. And in the final third on this epic season, this is just what we need. Bring the sun out, and there will be sun in Seville tomorrow. And hopefully you'll bring some sunshine with you. All the way from Ireland, we got Jay joining us today. How are you, Jay? Welcome to the Man United Agenda.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Great to be here. You guys are doing like a weather forecast, so I better get mine. 16 degrees and sunny in Ireland, but probably about 30 degrees in Seville. I wish we were all there tomorrow night, guys. We're having some experience.
A few comments here. Bath Time Vaughan here saying, you're spoilt in London. You got the sun. I'm surprised by that. I thought it was nationwide. Everyone was basking in it today. Big up to Glenn James. There's the mug and Mr. B's showing off right now. We got merchandise, guys. If you just show the mug again, please, Mr. B. We got our own merchandise labeled with you get your favorite player on one side and the Man United Agenda design on the other side. Lovely mugs going for £10 at the moment. That's from Glenn James. Go and check out the merchandise merchandise page in the Man United Agenda and grab them before it's too late. It's £10 at the moment, guys. Nearly payday, so snap them up. Big up to Brian Casey. How you doing, man? Nice to see you, Brian. And he's saying Rashford, Sabitzer, Shaw, and Malis here all travelled with the squad. Have great news, some positive news for change. Hi, guys, from Vincent, and big up to Errol, that's Solo, the Man United Agenda. He is our leader. We worship you, Errol. Welcome back. Nice to see you. And he's bigging up Jay as well. Anyway, let's get into this, Jay. I'd love to get all your thoughts on what's going on with Man United, but maybe for another show. We're talking about this return leg. We were cruising 2-0, and then it came back and got us in the end. But we're playing against Sevilla again. Let's just talk about player availability because we just had a comment there about who's available. So let's talk about who's out for sure. Mr. B, long-term outs. Who have we got there? Obviously, Donny van der Beek. What else you got, Mr. B?
Well, I was gonna say Donny. Who else is out?
Martinez. Come on.
Casemiro.
See you. Casas. Yeah, look, he will be missed, but I think Ten Hag's gonna have a little. I think he had already worked out that plan. I think he's got that plan covered already. To be fair,
you're talking about Martinez.
Midfield. Yeah, I'm talking about Martinez. Okay. Martinez being injured. I think he's got that covered in his head already. We'll have a look at Solo's team, and obviously we can discuss that in a bit between us, but. I'm not happy he's not playing. I'm just curious to see what he goes with as the back four. But look, we'll discuss that anyway. We'll discuss that in a bit, to be fair.
Nice one. Jay, over to you. So with availability, do you know any more? Heard any more news? Got your ear to the ground? Who's travelled? And what do you know about who's on the plane?
Well, this morning we also had images of Marcus, Sabitzer, Malacia, and Luke Shaw in training. So they've gone with the squad. It's obviously a massive positive to be. There's the image right there to be derived from that. Would he start Marcus Rashford tomorrow night? The fact that he's coming back from a groin injury, and if he pulls up after 30-40 minutes with a recurrence of injury, Ten Hag then will be castigated by likes of us and the rest of the fan base saying Marcus came back too early. So I can see Martial starting tomorrow night, and then maybe spring Marcus off the bench. Sabitzer, it was only a niggle that he got last weekend in training. Sorry, in the warm for the game. So obviously, I'd love him to start beside on form. the best CDM in world football right now, Casemiro, and then obviously with Bruno in the 10. Or of course, he could of course play Sabitzer in the 10 and knock Bruno back beside Casemiro, which has worked well in recent games. It's worked really well.
Bruno, Bruno suspended.
Again, Bruno suspended. How could I forget Bruno getting suspended for the most innocuous tackle I've seen all season by yet another soft referee? And tomorrow night, Sevilla players are going to go down like they've been hit by a sniper on the roof of that stadium. You know it's going to be small shoulder bar, smallest knock. They're going to go down, play for free kicks. And I think tomorrow night, Sevilla are going to enact classic Jose Mourinho tactics, or shithousery for a better expression. So no Bruno tomorrow night. So then it's got to be Casemiro, Sabitzer, and Freddie in that midfield. That's what you can do. I know we're going to go back and we're going to discuss the back four later on, so I won't go into it now. But I would give Fred a start tomorrow night. Let Fred go in there, bring up the play short, 4 or 5 yard balls. That's what he's good at. And then find Sabitzer at number 10, who obviously scored 2 goals in the last game. Am I confident? You asked me before I went on. Am I confident? No, I'm not confident at all. Lads, we've never beaten Sevilla. They knocked Jose out of Champions League back in 2017-18. Well, we all know what happened. What happened with Solskjaer. That's just a manager was out of his depth. So four games against them, 2 losses, 2 draws. Guys, with our back four tomorrow night, I'm not confident.
Jay, I just want to counter you there. Let's have a discussion here. All right, we haven't beat Sevilla. That's fair. But we've been the slaughterhouse team for Spanish teams this season. We've even beaten Barcelona, knocked them out. Real Betis as well. And we had they share a city with Sevilla, don't they? We beat them as well. And Sociedad in the group stage. I know they beat us at home, but we've taken them out as well. Where are they right now? So if you look at the league table, Sevilla, they're on a run. There are 4 games unbeaten, but they were in the relegation zone. And they beat Valencia, who were also in the relegation zone at the weekend, 2-0 away from home. So they're not at the best of form. And is this the same Sevilla who won 6 European Europa Leagues? I'm not sure. So just to balance your argument there, I know you maybe jumped in my heart when we said we haven't beaten them, but I'm trying to bring some balance to the discussion there. Mr. B, you're agreeing with me, aren't you? We beat Barcelona, top of the league. Are we fearful of Spanish sides?
Not this season, we're not. I think we will go through. I think I expected us to give him licks at Old Trafford. We didn't, but I just feel that it was errors in the game, individual errors in the game. I don't think Sevilla are going to give us much, to be fair. I know they're going to be at home. If we hold that first 20 minutes, regardless of what team we put out, which is going to come, I think we will go through. I know we haven't beaten them, granted. Their record in the Europa is ridiculous, but I just feel that we're at a different stage of our movement at the moment. If it was 2 weeks ago, we probably would have been in the sherbet. But I think with the players coming back and different roles that they're all playing, even down to Dallo last week, really impressed me playing at left back. So I think we've got enough in the squad at the moment to do them, and the fact that Rashford is back, I think that's a major boost. To be fair.
Jay, can I ask you a question here? Because you're saying about that stat there, but to balance, obviously we've beaten Barcelona as well, and they're flying high, and that was a massive game as well. But we've actually played against Seville, obviously last week. What did you make of them? And didn't you feel that we were sort of in the first half, especially before the changes were made and the injuries and unfortunate own goals? Did you think we were like bossing? I felt we were bossing them. I felt they weren't that good. Do you agree?
Yeah, listen, I take on point what you both said there. At home, first half, it was men versus boys, 1,000%. However, we should have gone out and got that 3rd goal, which was crucial. You're at home, you're cruising. You've got to drive the nail home and put it in the wall. And once Bruno was taken off, we all know what happened with Varane. Like, let's be fair, Ten Hag did not have his greatest game in the second half. To be 10 minutes to go and not have another player on your bench, come on. Call it naivety, call it whatever you want. Listen, Ten Hag, former knowledge of on football than any of us three, everybody watching. But I thought that was a critical error. 10 minutes to go, no subs in the pitch. Off comes Martinez, and we literally invited Sevilla on. They grew in confidence. And I just think with a referee away from home, they're going to get all the 50-50s.
Yeah.
So, and Casemiro, since he's sending offs, he's not as active to go and tackle and put a boot in and leave his mark on somebody. So I just have it's trepidation tomorrow night, really. Yeah. It is trepidation. I would be a lot more confident if we had our first choice centre backs. Of course I would, irrespective of who we're playing. Yes, we beat Betis, we beat Barcelona, but we beat them with 2 World Cup winners at the back. Tomorrow night, we're playing with a busted sofa at the back. So I'm very worried.
Oh dear. All right, let's go for some comments here and stop because I can see where this is going. Bruno suspended bath time with Vaughan. Want to big up to MUFC Realist TV. Go and subscribe to his channel. Say good evening in the house. Are you ready for another tapas and Sabitzer? Better than broccoli. Very funny. That's from Mr. B. Boxer saying, why are people in suits in the training pitch? Talking about that image we had earlier. This is Man United. He's saying hello. Welcome to the Man United agenda. Man United. See you there. Bath time saying Bruno's banned in it. Yeah, he's definitely banned. Box is saying here that ref was pathetic. I think he's talking about what Jay was referring to earlier. Vincent saying breaking news: Jimmy Murphy, the Irish man who died in 1958. Their statue will be revealed at Old Trafford on the 3rd of May at 5 p.m. I know, Vincent, you go to home games. Maybe you can get some images of that if you're going up there. But that's a great tribute to one of the lost soldiers there. MES Realist is saying here, Jay, call a spade a spade. Big up, lads. We need to dig hard tomorrow. Play on one leg, crawl, get it over the line. That's the spirit. That's right. Boxer saying, I'd rest Shaw, Rashford for Brighton. No point rushing him back too soon. Sentiments from the guys earlier. Yes, man. How you doing? Yes, man. If you're thinking we are winning, we are crazy, he's saying. So it's seeping in, this negativity. Boxer saying here, David Moyes knocked out Sevilla last season. Was that in the Conference League or something? Man United saying, stop this negative mindset. I thought I put on the wrong channel, says Michael Hill. Man United saying here, we're winning 3-0. Solo's saying to Jay, a Fred fan, you're always welcome back on the channel.
For the record, I'm not a Fred fan. Tomorrow night, Fred, if we're winning 1-0 and Fred has to come on, I've got no problem with that. Okay? But for the record, I am not a Fred fan.
I like the way, but you mentioned Fred and he gave his, he get on the ball, pass it short, keep it simple. I was thinking, okay, you're going, Aaron's going to love that one. Half time saying, Box, do Yellows reset the game after this game as Casemiro is at risk of missing the next game with yellow? I'm not sure. Does anyone knows in the comments or the cat channel? Vaughan reset now. Casa safe, I believe, hopefully. Oh, there's your answer. Rashford, Martial, Sancho with the goals. Omondi, what chance do you think there is of Ten Hag subbing the game if it goes to penalties? Oh, do you remember Villarreal couldn't save one through love of money? A bit like Peter Shilton. Yes, man says form doesn't matter. It's like a trophy, like Real Madrid. Love their UEFA Champions League. And we're going to leave it there. We'll come to more comments very soon. Guys, we're going to move on now. We've done player availability. Let me just add before we go on about this. So we know team news. Rashford returned to training today. And obviously, this is Wednesday, and tomorrow they're probably arriving now, aren't they? Would they be traveling today or tomorrow, do you reckon, guys?
Tonight.
Today, okay.
Tonight, yeah.
So they're probably trained tomorrow in Seville. 11 days. It was 11 days ago since he had his groin injury. And we were talking about groin injuries. We know we play ball, don't we? It usually takes about 4 or 5 weeks to really run it off. So I understand what Jay's saying about taking it easy. Luke Shaw's back. Jay, as you mentioned, it's just a little knock. He's trained with the first team. Malacia missed the Forest game with a sore knee. He trained today again. And Sabitzer obviously pulled out the first 11 against Forest. He's on the plane as well. Scott McTominay's not there. That's what we expect. So Sevilla, let's talk about Sevilla because Mr. B, coming like I was saying earlier, 2-0 up, I felt we were cruising. I actually even put out a video. I was so confident. That came back to haunt me because Arsenal fans are gunning for me because we came back from 2-0 down as they've been doing lately. But I thought this is not the same team. They didn't really have much penetration to getting behind us with pace. A lot of ballers, a lot of good technical players, Suso and all these ex-Premiership players. what's his name, Lamela, and a couple of other guys. Oh, Jesus Navas came on as well. But I just didn't think they had the penetration. I think if we were organised, we managed them. So I've got nothing really to fear from what I've seen so far. And looking at the league table as well, I'm not too concerned. But what do you know about Sevilla? What's the difference going to be? Were they sort of hustling us, playing really soft at Old Trafford? Are we going to expect war? Because just one quote for you and Jay to deal with here from the manager. He's saying here, no, it's from Rakitic. He's saying Man United don't know what awaits them at Sevilla. He said that the only two is De Gea and Casemiro know what's really like. He said there are very few teams that can take away Real Madrid's starting player as in Casemiro. So he's really impressed that the strength that we've got and the potential we've got. But he said they're going to be on it. It's going to be fire in that cauldron tomorrow. So with all that taken, Mr. B, what do you think about Sevilla as a team?
Their form this season's been terrible. I mean, they sacked the manager just before they played us to get a manager bounce. They haven't done too well in the league since. Yeah, they beat Valencia last week, but Valencia aren't no better than Sevilla anyway. So I expect their fans to be noisy, but their fans aren't the ones kicking the ball on the pitch. So I think Ten Hag's going to be setting traps for them tomorrow. And the first goal is going to be the most important one tomorrow. And I do believe we're going to score the first one, especially on the counter. And then they'll come out again and then we'll score another one. And then the errors that were made in the last game won't be made in this one. And as Jay said about not being able to make a sub in the last 10 minutes, those errors won't be made again.
Okay, Jay, over to you. What do you know about Sevilla? How do they play? I mean, what are you expecting from them? Is it going to be a cauldron? Is that something that we've not experienced before? Is that the big talk coming from Rakitic?
Look, you play any Spanish team at home in the latter stages of your competition. Okay, they are languishing in 13th place in La Liga, but tomorrow night for them and their fans, that's their cup final. They're playing that tomorrow as if it's the cup final. Okay, so I think they are going to come out at it from the off. They're going to press us high. They're going to pin us back, and if we play the aforementioned Busasov at the back, we are slow playing the ball from the back. We're going to be pinned back deep in our own half. And I agree with you, Mr. B. The first goal is crucial. Crucial. The last game that we lost against them, we gave them 2 goals for defensive errors. We gave them 2 goals. It wasn't as if they ripped open our midfield, played a throwing through ball, and scored, as I would call, a legitimate goal. We gifted them 2 goals. It's the kind of goals you'd see at an under-12 game. So yeah, there were gifts. Tomorrow night, I think whatever back four is played has to be laser focused from the off. But I'll go back to my original point. I am so worried about how slow our centre backs are going to be tomorrow night. And if we play the centre backs, I think if we're going to play, we're going to discuss in a second, they will target those centre backs. And I'm worried about that centre back partnership tomorrow night.
Okay, Box is saying here, if we can go to the new camp, score 2 goals in 90 minutes, when Barcelona have only conceded 9 goals all season, we should be able to score a few at Sevilla. Yeah, interesting in that. We're going to come to the highlight of my any preview show for me anyway. Get the drum roll ready, guys, because it's all about Solo 11. Now, as you know, just to explain quickly, Solo, our boss man, runs the channel. He always puts out 11 with what he knows about availability the day before. So this is Solo's 11. Is he in tune with Ten Hag? What Ten Hag's thinking? Is he in tune with Mr. B? With Mr. B's what Mr. B's thinking? Is he in tune with Jay? What do you think about this side here? I know we talk about the defenders here, but let's start with the forward line here because he's got. We can leave that to last. He's gone. This is really interesting because key thing here, Bruno's out. Now you, Mr. B, Jay, have a discussion here. Bruno's out. Is it Sabitzer? Is it Ericsson? Is it just going to be rotation? What do you think about this? Or where's Sancho, for example? Why isn't Sancho in the team? Let's go.
Okay, well, first things first, I'm playing Sabitzer where Ericsson is. And to be fair, I think we probably need a rat in the game. So, and Fred normally plays pretty decent with Casemiro. So I would be starting Fred instead of Ericsson. I just think the pace of the game, might be too quick for Eriksen. I mean, he might surprise us. He was velvet in it. Granted, he was velvet last weekend, but I just feel that this is a game where we probably do need our midfield to be able to get around the pitch. And the one thing Fred does, he does get around the pitch, all right? His quality when he gets the ball isn't the best, but I think for this game in particular, I would be playing Fred instead of Eriksen in his position. The Rashford one, you know me, man. I've got a Rashford on my cup, for God's sake. So I'm playing Rashford anytime he's available to play. But I think, oh God, I think he should probably go with Sancho, to be fair. Just to make sure that Rashford is top. I know he wouldn't be training and he wouldn't have traveled if he wasn't able to play, but I just feel he's coming back from an injury and we've got some really big games coming up. So I'm not starting Rashford either. I'll leave the defense to when we need to discuss the defense. What about you, Jay?
Okay, as I started the show, I said I wouldn't start Rashford coming back so fast from a groin injury. I spring him off the bench. I want Martial playing up top because Martial is much better at Rashford for linking into play, holding up play. Marcus does not do that very well, and then you're left in with playing Sancho out where Rashford is. Hear me now?
Yep, done. Yeah,
good now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sancho out on the left. I'm not a fan of Sancho. Let's just say he's not exactly been putting up trees all season. Doesn't track back, doesn't support his fullback. But who else do we play out left? Again, I start Martial and I bring Rashford on 20 minutes to go when Martial inevitably tires. I'm with you 100%. I don't start Eriksen. I'm just back from injury. I don't think he'll last 90 minutes. Yes, he's a far better player than Fred. So I'm playing Sabitzer in the 10 and Fred beside Casemiro. Fred usually plays well beside Casemiro. Okay, I think we're left with that thing, guys.
Yeah, we have some agreement there between the two of you. So obviously, both Sancho wouldn't be in either of your sides. No one's mentioned Anthony. Any comment on Anthony, guys? Is he on fire at the moment? Is he on best form so far?
No problem.
I wouldn't go as far as say on fire. Sorry, Mr. B. My apologies.
No. Go ahead.
I say on fire. It's his fourth season in the Premiership, and if he was an English player, the English media would be supporting him. I think the fan base would be supporting him a lot more because he's come into the club at 70-odd million transfer. Obviously, we paid too much for him, but he has grown into the game. I think he does track back. He's a high energy player, and unlike Sancho, he will actually put a cross in the box. So I think any fan that is already losing I suppose confidence or time for Anthony needs to realize he's in his early 20s, new league. Next season, I think you will see a different player entirely.
Okay, we're going to go for some comments, guys. What do you think of this? Brian Case is saying we need to go out there, put our chances, put away our chances when we get them. That's what cost us last week. We should have been 4-0 up when Martinez got injured. Football United TV, Matt, go and subscribe. He's saying, Jay, we had a good live chat on Instagram a year back. Nice to see you on the agenda, mate. That's Matty, Football United TV. Go and subscribe to his channel. Bartime saying here, we need our best technical players or we won't see the ball for ages. Now, Bartime's got great experience. He's played abroad, knows all about Spanish football, speaks Spanish, and knows all about Sevilla as well. He's been there many times, so that's good advice right there. Box is saying here, Palestri, Martial, Anthony, Sabitzer, Eriksen, Casemiro, and there's your back four, similar Malacia. He's got Malacia in there instead. Elanga time, question mark, says Bath time. Stuart Marshall, how you doing? He said, I'd start with Rashford on the bench, bring him on. We need it for Wembley on the weekend, obviously. And Palestri, he played for Alvarez, didn't he, on loan? He knows all about the Spanish league. Palestri's time to shine, says MUFC, Man United. Ahmad has been amazing. Obviously, we know he's on loan at the moment. That's one for the future. But Bill Badger's here. We're going to back four. My back four would be Shaw, Lindelof, Malacia, and Wan-Bissaka. So Shaw in the centre-back position. No Harry Maguire. Please no Harry Maguire, says Bill Badger. And I'm not going to bite. But Box is saying here, to be fair, Maguire is English and he's been our most hated man of all time from his own fan base. Let's talk about the defence, guys. Hint, hint. Shall we go with you, Jay? What's your feelings about his defence against the Seville side? It's a massive game. Any concerns?
I've got concern, and it begins with M and finishes in E. And you and an I. I wouldn't have let that lad in the plane, let alone in the dressing room. Look, I start Shaw tomorrow night at left centre back, and Armo on the right, Delo on the left, and Lindelof. To be fair to Lindelof, whenever Lindelof has played beside either Martinez or Varane, he's played well because he's got a leader beside him, somebody that can read the game, somebody that can take the ball from the back four, find his CDM, or play a 20-30 yard pass. He's got Maguire beside him that at the weekend was on the pitch for 5 minutes and already he was on his hole and got a yellow card. 10 minutes later, he's playing the ball to the linesman. And I know a lot of other fan channels laud him. Oh, he did okay. You're 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. You're playing Nottingham Forest, mate. Didn't have a shot. It was awful easy for a centre back. They looked half decent when the other team doesn't have a shot. So Ten Hag will probably start Maguire. He's inherited him. He's club captain, which he should be stripped of a long time ago. So he will probably start them. I personally wouldn't. I've made my thoughts on Maguire clear for the last 3 years. They're not going to change. He's stealing away to the club, and I just can't stand him as a player.
Okay, so we're not going to try and twist your arm. Clearly, I am a Maguire appreciation man. I do appreciate him as a footballer, as a defender. I think he defends well. When you look at his strengths, I think it's overlooked a lot of the time because there seems to be an agenda against this guy. This guy can header, he can tackle, he can bring the ball out from the back, he can pass. That tackle he made in the first 5 minutes against Forest, well done. I applaud that. Bring the man down, stop them from counter-attacking on us. I thought that was intelligent play there. Mr. B, over to you. Like Jay's saying here, bring Shaw into left back. Into centre back and maybe play Malacia. Is that your thinking as well?
No, I'm playing Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right, and I'm playing Dalot scored from the left. I don't think he played that bad. I think Dalot needs to play. And I'll get me wrong. I would be playing Shaw at centre back, and I wouldn't be playing Maguire. I know Maguire suspended for the Brighton game, but maybe it's to get the partnership going. That's more what I'm thinking. Get another 90 minutes of understanding with Lindelof and Shaw. So I'm playing Lindelof, Shaw, Dalot, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Interesting that. So we've all got different formations. I'm going to go with what Solo says. I do think Maguire, Lindelof were good formation, good setup there. Here's a comment here from Bartholomew. It said Lindelof and Maguire played the third highest line, as in high up the pitch, in the league when they came second and conceded less goals than Varane and Martinez this season.
I don't care.
And to balance that, he's also saying this season, Varane and Martinez have been the third deepest line in the league. So good observation. I mean, stats like that.
I'm not having that.
I don't care. I don't.
Not having that.
I can't, man. I can't do stats, man. I look at Maguire. Listen, it doesn't matter. Nothing's ever going to change my mind on Maguire. I mean, I'm more thinking about if Maguire doesn't play, who's captain. That's more the question that I'm going to ask.
Yeah, Bruno's out, of course.
Because Bruno's not playing.
It's easy. It's easy. Casemiro. Easy.
Oh, you reckon they'll give it to him?
Okay, just think, right? Would you make a World Cup winner, 5 times Champions League winner, multiple La Liga winner, captain, or a B-Tech English centre back that's won a Carabao Cup only because the manager brought him on as an act of charity so he get a medal in his career? Come on, lads.
All right, let's stir this up because this is getting interesting. 14 in the chat. Let's press the like button. Jimmy Mack, how you doing? He said Maguire's a decent defender. He just isn't suited to a high line. But those stats from the data from Bath Time suggest that he is. It's not personal, but I'd rather see him not in the starting lineup again. Bath Time saying here it'll be Shaw or De Gea if Maguire doesn't start. Casemiro should be captain. That's Matt
Anyway.
agreeing with you, Jay. And Man United saying, if we have to play Maguire, no other captain. Box has got a little team here, saying Varane and Martinez are my first choice, but Maguire is perfectly capable squad replacement at centre back with all his achievements. And here we go. Brian saying Maguire is the one player that can just zap any confidence we have in the team. Doesn't suit Ten Hag's system. The first 4 minutes against Forest summed this up. This season.
I mean, Monday. I mean, the mad thing is, Monday. You look at that as a smart challenge or a sensible challenge. I look at it that he couldn't do. I mean, after that, I don't understand. I don't understand. He should. He was in the wrong position for one. He was already holding him. He had already decided that he was going to foul him. As soon as the ball came to him, there was nothing else in his mind.
Right,
he didn't think about defending him.
In your head, guys, we're playing Cop TV on the 9th of May. If your brother's on the verge of breaking on me, and I put my hands around him and bring him down, you would give me a high five, Mr. B, for doing the exact same thing. Cellini done this to Saka, and he was applauded. In Italy, they know the dark arts of defending, and that is one of it there. Fair play to Maguire. He got caught. He tried to close the man down.
OMONDI, man, you don't do it. You don't do it in the first few minutes of the goddamn game.
Right. Question.
If there's 10 minutes to go, you're winning 1-0, you take one for the team. Yes, of course you do. It's dark arts. It's being smart, right? And nobody on Sky Sports wanted to talk about the penalty that Forrest should have got. Forrest got a penalty. Stonewall penalty, handball. But because it's Harry Maguire, it doesn't suit the British media agenda. Oh, no penalty. Don't even talk about it, lads.
Okay. Just one more thing. What does Maguire do well? This should be short.
Header.
Head ball. He can't miss a header the size he's got him head. Come on. You could measure circumference of our three heads here right now. We might come close to Maguire's one head.
All right, guys. So overall, I think we've gone over the team there. Few differences, but I think overall, yeah, we've got a good team. And it just shows our squad depth, despite the injuries I think we have got. The only issue I feel that we all agree on is defence, where we've had to reshuffle, and hopefully these boys can stand up to what we're going to have to absorb tomorrow at Seville. It's going to be really, really intense, isn't it? Prediction time, guys. Let's get this punchy. Guys in the comments, appreciate you. It's 18 watching right now. What do you think? We're going to Seville. We've seen them in the first leg. They're down in relegation zone. They've got a new manager. They haven't lost in 4. Have we got enough to break them down and beat them? Mr. B was suggesting beat them on the counter-attack. Did you see enough from them to get in behind us? Can we play and absorb their pressure? What do you think, guys? If their stadium, their fans, it's going to be too much for us to handle, where we're going to be intimidated, big players like that. What do you think, guys? What's the score going to be? I'm going to start with you, Mr. B. And guys in the comments, let me know. Are we winning tomorrow? Are we going through? And will we be relying on players like Harry Maguire to step up, to turn the head of Jay? Mr. B, over to you.
1-1. We win 3-1 in extra time.
1-1, 3-1 in extra time. Wow. This is a 2-0 win. Jim Mack saying here. Over to a 3-0 win here from Man United. We've got a 3-1 or 1-0 down because Slabhead comes on. Come back second half and slap up the Spaniards. Ruby saying here 3-1. That's a Ruby special. And 3-1 to us as well. So everyone's saying quite confident, regardless.
No, but you missed the last bit. 3-1 to us. Maguire.
I don't want to tempt fate, so I don't want to hear about that. And Brian saying here, if we take our chances, we'll beat them. But there's a mistake in our defence. 2-1. Finally, last one before I come to you, Jay, I predict a huge meltdown on Twitter when Maguire starts and United control the game to a delicious 2-0 away masterclass. Jay, prediction, please. What do you think? We've gone through every detail we can.
Okay, I'm going 2-2, and we're going all the way to penalties. De Gea will finally save one and be the hero.
No way.
You having that?
Yeah, I'll go with that. Guys, Jay, how important is this to you as a fan? Are we taking this seriously? Or Man United, do we only focus on major trophies? We just won the Carabao Cup. People are saying, it's a Powerade Cup or whatever it is. They say sugar drink cup. But how important is the Europa League? Has it got credibility out there? And should we really be sort of doing our best to put our best team out there and go for it?
Look, you're playing Europa League because you want good enough to qualify for the Champions League. That's point one. I've always referred to it as the Champions League B Cup and the Conference League as Champions League C Cup. But any trophy you're in, you're there to win the goddamn thing. Solskjaer couldn't do it. We give Mourinho all the credit in the world when he won it, and he won a League Cup. So we finished off this season. We're top four, a Carabao Cup plus a Europa League. If you were offered that last August, you'd bite their hand off.
Yeah.
So I want to win it, mate. End of story.
Good response. I do agree with you. Want to say hi to Tom? Say, remember, Man U is playing against 5 times, actually 6 times champions Sevilla. It won't be easy at all. And finally, Jim Mack is saying his team is very beatable. Eric Ten Hag will have us ready. He learns from mistakes. That's true. He's like Terminator. I'll be back. So yeah, I think that's a good comment there. So that's the predictions over and done with. I think everyone's really confident. Any other business before we wrap up? Just looking at it, obviously, there's been a few comments. The manager here, I'll just read out their manager, newbie, only came in March. He hasn't got much European experience. The game against at Old Trafford was his first European game as a manager. But he was saying that Rashford is one of the best players nowadays. That was a quote from him in his press conference. So he's basically saying in Europe, the way they view the Premiership and everything, they think Rashford's one of the better players nowadays in world football. Just to touch on that, and obviously, they've doing all right since he's come in. They've drawn 2 and won 2 in La Liga, and obviously they had to draw with us, which they're quite fortunate with. So, thoughts on what the manager said about Rashford and what they're saying about they're going to give their all, they expect that, and what it means to them. It does mean something to Sevilla. I know they've got European pedigree in this competition, but they're not the team they used to be. Fine Young Cannibals, they're not the man I used to be. It's clearly not. But what do you think about the thoughts about Rashford? Is Rashford really one of the most feared players, one of the best players in world football nowadays, as the manager's saying there? Start with you, Mr. B. Obviously, I know your response to that.
Yes, and yes. I'll leave it at that. I don't need to go any further than that.
Fair enough. And Jay, what do you think about these comments? And any other business from you before we wrap up?
I'll just say today it was sunny in Ireland at 16 degrees. Doesn't make a summer. So Rashford has been in a stellar form this season, which is a stark contrast to the form he's had the last 3 years. So I'll judge Marcus Rashford in 2 and 3 years' time. If he scores 25 goals a season for the next 2 or 3 years, then I will acknowledge that status. But I'm not going to give him kudos after this one season. No way.
Okay, just quickly, Jay, bath time saying, could you ask Jay what he thinks about the Real Madrid video released a few days ago? And he also says Spanish are always terrified of pace. That's probably what they're fearing here. I don't know the video. Does anyone know?
I haven't seen the video, so I can't comment on it.
Okay,
I genuinely haven't seen it.
And just before we go, big up to Eddie Football Waffle. He's bigging up all the panel and everyone in the comments as well. Go and subscribe to Eddie Football Waffle, guys, if you don't mind. It's a great channel. And same as Football United TV, 8 points from relegation, 13 for the Liga. Real Betis are way better. We need to do better. This is in relation to Sevilla and where they're at the moment and why we should win. Okay, guys, we're going to sign out now. It's been a wonderful show. Jay, just want to thank you for showcasing your talents. You're out angling the screen with your shoulders and chest, and you must pump some weight. Yeah, I see it there. But I really do love having you on the channel. Love bumping heads with you. Just let us know where we can find you. Your social media, Twitter. Because a lot of people seem to know about you. Even Matty's come along and said he's chatted to you before.
Yeah. Well, sadly for me, my Instagram got hacked last year at 20k followers, so no more Instagram. I'm only there now on Twitter at JDailyUTD. Catch me here for some banter and for some smart comments.
And Jay, will you come back on the agenda sometime soon? Maybe even a post.
Yeah, I'd love to. It's been great fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you guys for having me.
Brilliant. Nice one there. And Mr. B, I'm going to leave you the final word because we're going to sign out now. Anything left to say, Mr. B? Do you give us some confidence for tomorrow, please?
Yes, man. I've got the watch along tomorrow. I expect not to be swearing, so we have no problems with the kids watching. I'm confident of going through, but I think it's gonna be a roller coaster tomorrow. I really think it's gonna be a roller coaster tomorrow.
I just want to say this, talking about the defense and that kind of thing. If we set up correctly, let them play in front of us. That's what they like to do. Don't let them play through us. That's a given. We just don't allow that. Nice and compact. Let them play in front of us. Sometimes what I've noticed this season, there's been times in games, especially against Man City, against Arsenal, where we've let teams play in front of us. We've managed it well. You can be in control in those situations. No need to panic so much. And I think we've shown that over this season that we can. Good experience in managing situations like that. So with Spanish teams where they can keep the ball so well. When we played Betis, for example, Bath Times showed me a stat that once we gave the ball away, it took us almost 7 minutes to get the ball back off them. So it's, we have to be really patient. There's going to be spells in this game where there's whistles, when we get the ball, they're going to start whistling and hounding us and we're going to panic. So we need level-headed guys out there and we need to do a job. And we need to do a real demolition job on them, on the counter. I remember Alanga scoring a goal against Atletico Madrid last season. Guys like that could come on and make a name for yourself, It's really important. We've got experience with a few players coming back, a lot to prove. It's going to be an exciting game. And as a Man United fan, every game now we've got something to play for going on to the end of the season. Sorry, it's 3 minutes. Not every That's a long time, isn't it? You've got to get the ball for 7 minutes. That would be terrible. That'd be like my Sunday team playing against one of these teams. Anyway, enough about that. Jay, appreciate you, bro. Love to have you on the channel.
Thank you,
Mr. B, tune in tomorrow for the watch along. Make sure it's the best watch along out there, guys. Make sure you tune in with Mr. B, and we'll be back as well for the post match reaction. See you later, guys. God bless.